Hey all, my name is Paul Borosky and I am the owner of Quality Business Plan. And what I'd like to do today is introduce you all to my Express Plus business plan. So for this video, what I'm going to do is I'm first going to go ahead and give you all an overview of what content is going to be included in my Express Plus business plan. From that, I'm then going to go ahead and show you all the template that I use to construct the Express Plus business plan, and then a finished product of what an example final Express Plus business plan is going to look like. So when you go ahead and compare the template that I use with the final product, you're going to be able to see the structure that I'm going to use. You're going to be able to see my writing style. I'm the only person in my company, so I'm the only person writing it. So you're going to see the writing style. You're going to see the financial structures that I have, and you're also going to be able to see, how I go ahead and put the content together to present it for yourself and the reader. One of the strengths, or a couple of the strengths for this business plan, is that first is short and sweet and to the point. I can usually have one of these business plans ready in about 3 business days. Also, the financial projections, I don't just toss them in like most business plans. What they're going to do is they're going to just toss them right into the financial projections. You're going to see the 12-month profit and loss statement, and then they're going to see the 5 years or the 3 years for the projected income statement, pro forma income statement, then pro forma balance sheet, but there's no explanations. With the Express Plus business plan, one of the strengths are I really set the stage, I set the foundation for the reader to understand where these financial projections come from. For example, you're going to get a full page of financial assumptions, where did these ideas come from for the financial projections. Then we're going to go ahead and break up the startup costs into categories and show how the money is going to be borrowed and then where the money is going to be spent. And then we're also going to show what the average daily starting revenues are going to be, what the monthly fixed costs are going to be, what the labor projection is going to be at startup, and then also what the growth rates used for the financial model. So with that foundation, we then introduce them to the 12-month profit and loss statement, and then we also go into the pro forma income statement, pro forma balance sheet, and then also at the end I do provide a break-even analysis as well. All right, so without further ado, let's go ahead and zip through this little tutorial I have ready for you. So first and foremost, let me go ahead and give you all a just a broad overview of what to expect in my Express Plus business plan. So it's going to be about 18 to 20 pages. It does come with 2 revisions within 30 days of me emailing the completed business plan to you. There are no refunds once a business plan is paid for, and once the deposit is paid for, and once a business plan is paid for, and once all the disclosures are signed, by golly, you are getting a business plan. There is going to be a confidentiality statement. You're going to have an executive summary, company description, industry analysis, half a page with a chart, organizational and management. We'll get into that, marketing and sales. And then, like I said, the cherry on top is the financial projections. I really get into some pretty good details here. All that information does come from you, your estimates for the projections, the daily revenues, and the cost. If there's a road bump that you have with the financial projections, we'll have a conversation. I'll explain some of the terminology for you and help you better understand how we can come up with some of these numbers. All right, so with that said, when I write a Express Plus business plan, I do start with a template. This is the template right here. It's about 26 pages. I whittle it down to 20 to 22 pages. And so the template's going to be pretty much a blank page right here. The title page, I'm going to go ahead and put your company name right here. A logo, if you supply me with the logo, I'm going to put that logo right here. And the next is going to be the table of contents. I have the table of contents updated right here. That way when the reader sees the table of contents, if there's a flavor of ice cream that they like, if they like the financials or they like the organization and management, whatever they like, they can go right to it. Nice structure, easy to use, easy to understand. Next is going to be the confidentiality statement. I don't touch this. This is just pretty much a standard disclosure. Any readers are going to be reading it. It just tells them not to share your information or take your ideas. The executive summary section, what I do with the executive summary section is I will go ahead and I will go down to the company and product section in your business plan, the competitive advantages section of the business plan, and the marketing target market, financial projection. All this information I literally copy and paste from the business plan. I might eliminate a sentence or two or a paragraph. And the reason that I do that is that the business plan is technically two documents. It's going to be your executive summary, and then it's also going to be your business plan. And the executive summary is exactly that. It's a summary of your business plan. If you introduce information into your executive summary in executive summaries that is not included in your business plan, then it's not in alignment. If you copy and paste the information from your business plan, take away a little bit of information, you are now going to make sure every time your executive summary is in alignment with the business plan. So when a reader reads your executive summaries and they see the financial highlights, they want more information, then they go to the financial highlights section or the financial projections section. They're going to find this information with more information to help them better understand where this information's come from. So that's how I structure my executive summaries. Next is going to be the company description section. I'll start with the company name, where it's located, and then what the legal structure is, whether it's corporation, LLC, LLP, or sole proprietor, whatever it's going to be, owner. And then I'm going to go ahead and state what the main revenue generator is, second revenue generator, and then an important competitive advantage. So I use that same structure for all my business plan, express business plans. Next is going to be the product's description. I'm going to go ahead and for this, for the Executive Plus, I do go into up to 3 different product or service descriptions, 1 to 2 sentences. Any other or additional product descriptions or service descriptions, I'll go ahead and list those down below. Next will be you're going to be your primary target market. For the primary target market, I'll give 1 to 2 sentences as to who your main customer is going to be. Competitive advantage, this is going to be your information right here. We're going to just talk about, what are some of your competitive advantages. We'll hit 2 of them right here. Location section, again, I'm going to put your address right here. If it's a home address, I'm going to use city and state. We'll identify what the square footage is right here, and then how the allocation of the square footage is going to take place. Hours of operation, pretty straightforward. And then we're going to have personnel. We're going to talk about first we're going to introduce your industry. Then we're going to then state how many people you're going to be starting off with and what their positions are going to be. And then unfortunately, we do need to I do put a COVID statement in there. There is that little bug going around that everybody's talking about. We want to address that in the business plan, and I do that for the Express Business Plan Plus. Next is going to be the industry analysis. I do use IBIS World. I will do some custom writing right here. I'll take the information. I'll go ahead and briefly describe what industry you're competing in or a close industry. And then from there, I'm going to go ahead and pull out some statistics. Usually it's going to be the revenue growth, what the revenue is for the industry, number of competitors in the industry, the employees, what the profit margins on average are, and then what the average growth rate is going to be. So I'll pull in some important statistics. I'll include it right here, but all the information does come from IBIS World, and it is summarized. Next is going to be the organization and management. I'm going to have an ownership section right here with your information. And then for the organizational chart, I'm going to go ahead and for the Express Plus Business Plan, I do go up to 10 employees. Excuse me, if your company is going to have more than 10 employees or more than 10 subcontractors, those are included in my the scope right here. So if you're going to have more than 10 employees, it's going to bump you into the traditional plan, which is fine, but it is going to be a little bit more money. But I will go ahead and give it an organizational structure in a nice little chart here. Visual aid helps them not only understand what positions are going to be in your company, but it also shows a chain of command as well. And the next is going to be your marketing and sales. So what I've done for my template here is I've thought of just about every idea I could possibly think of how a company is going to do marketing, whether it be word of mouth, referral network, community events, cold calling. I've got 3 pages of ideas, and I've gone ahead and written a template for each channel that I can think of. And what we'll do in our initial meeting, we'll discuss how you're going to be doing some advertising, and we'll pull up the top 3 or top 4, and I will go ahead and pull it from in here, put your information in, and call it a day. Usually it's going to be word of mouth, signage, social media, website. But if you've got some twists and turns, we can add those in there. But there's just, again, very little customization. I've got the information here. I'll pull it in over here, and I'll put your company name or a little bit more information on it there. Next is going to be your funding request. This is a very dense paragraph. With your funding request, you do want to go ahead and state specific information. And I use this funding request as every one of my business plans. You do want to go ahead and tell the reader if you're going to be using debt or equity, or debt and equity. You want to go ahead and state your anticipated interest rate. You want to go ahead and talk about your term for a range. And if you're going to be doing an investor, you want to tell the investor how they're going to be compensated. And you also want to go ahead and tell both investors as well as a lender how they're going to be paid, whether it be from cash flows from the business or a different area. So a lot of information that you do need in the funding request, which is going to be in this dense paragraph. Also, you want to go ahead and show where your money is going to be coming from, whether it's equity or debt, and then how the money is going to be spent. And then finally, you want to make sure the money spent is aligned with your dollar amount that is needed for the organization. Next is going to be the financial projections. Like I said, one of the strengths of my Express Plus business plan, not only is it turn around relatively quick, 3 days, 3 business days, but I don't just toss them into the 12-month profit and loss statement and the pro forma balance sheet, pro forma income statement, and the break-even analysis. We have to set the stage. We have to show them where these numbers are coming from, or they have no value, they have no credibility. So I will go ahead and first summarize. I'm right here. I'm going to summarize what the financial projections are. I'm going to give them a page full of assumptions, telling them how, where this information came from, how it's broken down. Then we're going to get into the daily sales. What is the average customer ticket? The second service, is there a second service? What is it? And how many customers do you anticipate serving the first day or the first week or the first month? What are the average prices? What are some of the average variable costs? And we can talk about this information. A lot of this information is going to be benchmarks as compared to, let's be honest, we can't predict the future. We don't. I've been doing business plans for almost 12 years now. I can't tell you how many people that's going to call me today and how many business plans I'm going to sell. I can't do it. But I can tell you an average based on my experience or based on what I would like to see, and then take actions to achieve those averages and use them as benchmarks. And that's the perspective that I take with my financial projections with my clients as well. So we're going to show initial daily sales and we anticipate the daily sales are going to be with the variable cost number, average prices and such. Then we're going to go into the initial monthly labor. How many employees are we going to have? How much are we going to pay ourselves? Next, we're going to go ahead and break out the initial monthly fixed costs, the rent, the electric, the utilities, the insurance, the advertising. So we're going to show them on average what we anticipate for the monthly fixed cost to be. Then we're going to show them the growth rates for year 1 through year 5. What is the growth rates estimated for the labor, the advertising, the office, the utilities, the legal, the insurance. So we're going to show all that information, where all of our thoughts, ideas are going to come from, before we even introduce them to our 12-month profit and loss statement. In the 12-month profit and loss statement, I do break it up into quarters: month 1, month 3, quarter 1. And then we're going to have month 4, month 6, quarter 2. Then we're going to have month 7 through 9, quarter 3. Month 10 through 12, quarter 4. And then finally, we wrap that into our pro forma income statement for year 1 through year 5. Then we're going to talk about the balance sheet for year 1 through year 5. And then finally, we have our break-even analysis. All right, so hopefully this information was helpful. And if you like what you see, zip on over to my website, qualitybusinessplan.com/Express Business Plan Plus. And here you can go ahead and make a deposit payment, which is going to allow you to go ahead and download the questionnaire for the Express Plus Business Plan. And once you're done with the questionnaire, we can get the ball started and get your business plan all written up for you. So hopefully this information was helpful. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up on YouTube. And if you want me to go ahead and write up an Express business plan for you, just reach out to me. Be delighted to assist. As always, have a fantastic day. Thank you.